Handheld gaming is exploding right now, and I know for sure when I was looking for a handheld, there was two main handhelds which took my fancy, and it was a real sign-off between the two, and those were the Steam Deck and the Asus ROG Ally X. Sure, there was the first ROG Ally, but they just had too many issues for me to worry about past Windows, like overheating, destroying SD cards. And always a strong contender was the Steam Deck. But which one is right for you? Well, the answer isn't as simple as raw performance. It really comes down to your style of gaming. If we wanted a pick up and feel console, then the Steam Deck was perfect. It feels great in your hands, the buttons are good, the trackpads work extremely well, but it still left some stuff to be desired. Now, it runs on SteamOS, giving that true pick up and go console feel. Your library is right there at the touch of a button. Valve has done a really great job with compatibility and optimizing and working with developers to optimize their games. And with Proton GE, you can even force some Windows-only games to run. But there is a catch. Any game with strict anti-cheat, like Call of Duty or most EA titles, it just won't run. Unless you take the extra step of dual booting Windows, and that's not the most user-friendly thing in the world. Yes, okay, the Asus ROG Ally X runs on Windows, but then it comes to the question of, might as well have you just gone to Windows in the first place if it doesn't play the games that you really want to play? And I think that's where the question comes in. What games are you going to play on these? And when it comes down to the comparison, you'd think a lot of the time, well, actually, maybe this is going to come down to raw performance. Now, the ROG Ally X beats the performance to the Steam Deck, but people keep running back to the Steam Deck because the optimization that Valve works with the games sometimes makes games play even better, even though the raw performance is not there. But that doesn't really answer the question. I think the question comes down to of how, firstly, you want to play your games. This is a console feel, but there is some tinkering of stuff you need to do. And a lot of the community has made it so much easier to go and make it easier for you to play and be able to play more games. For example, as I said, with Proton GE, but you do need to know how to go and do it. There's a lot of tinkering around, and if you want to play certain games, for example, like your Xbox Game Pass games, then you need to do a workaround either with Greenlight and play it through Microsoft Edge, or you can do it with an app called XB Play and play and sign in, and you can play and stream the cloud games from there. So there's ways to do it, but you're still stuck with no Call of Duty and the other things. So you need to ask your question. If you have a main PC and you're happy to play Call of Duty on there, and you just need something out and about to play your indie games and play some other games as well that you know are going to run on here and run very well. I know like Elden Ring and stuff like that plays on here. People have played games like that fully to the extent of completion. But I think that's the main aspect with this console. It is great. It continues to impress a lot of people. With FSR4 workarounds now being able to work, performance is steady. Optimization to games is steady. Valve do work very, very well. But sometimes it comes down to the point of, well, if you're going to want to play those and going to dual boot Windows, then that's when the ROG Ally X comes in. Because again, it feels great in your hands. And if I'm honest with you, I grew up with an Xbox controller. Xbox was my thing. So it just feels right in the positioning of here. When you do have the Steam Deck, it is comfortable. The sticks are in the right place where you're gripping. The grips are much bigger as well, so it does help. And you do have more programmable buttons on the back. The ROG Ally X, you do have 2 programmable buttons on the back. The grip is just different. It feels more like an Xbox controller. The actual grips on the back are not there, but I do have this grip case on here, which does help with that massively. But let's talk about Windows, and let's talk about the software on the ROG Ally X. So you do have your Armory crate, which is an Asus run background, and it's just Windows. It is Windows. You do have your separate things. So when you're doing your updates and bits and pieces, you do have to run through this updating software in many different places. So you will need to update all your drivers separately. You can update your BIOS and stuff in the update center in here, but if you do any Windows updates, you will need to go onto the check for updates. You need to do it on the Windows Update tool. So it can be a bit of a pain, but I do like how Asus has managed to improve this massively in the fact that running your games can be simpler. You do have the Xbox app. You can run native Xbox games and download them to there. You do not have to use the cloud surfaces. And if you go on the Xbox app, and the new Xbox app is absolutely incredible of how they've managed to do it. So now on the Xbox app, you have all of your games here as well. So you have all of your Steam games. If there was anything on your Xbox app that you've got downloaded, you can play it here. It will also put GOG games here, EA games here. So this is the new version of, I think it's full screen mode, as they call it. And that's already come to the Ally X on that form. And also big picture mode on Steam is also there as well. So Steam will load up into big picture mode and will look pretty much identical to the Steam Deck. So it is a great console, and raw performance is going to be much better with the ROG Ally X. So I guess it comes down to it. This is the powerhouse of the two, and running on Windows, it can handle just about anything. If you want Game Pass, EA, Steam, Epic, Battle.net, it's all there. And yes, the anti-cheat games run just fine. But there's a trade-off for the Windows. It is still Windows. You need to update drivers, patches, BIOSes, and every launcher separately. It's a bit of a maintenance job compared to the simplicity of SteamOS. That said, Asus has made it much better with that Xbox app and being able to gain access to all of your games all in one place. So I think there is no real simple question to this, and you've got to ask your gaming style. The Asus ROG Ally X is perfect for me. I want something to pick up on the go and be able to play any game that I want to play and download. Whereas the Steam Deck is perfect for my wife, which is who it's been purchased for. She can play her games. She wants to play more simulator, Stardew Valley, that kind of thing, small indie games, emulation games. Both will emulate, but you can emulate on both of these. So I think the main aspect is your style and what you're happy with. And as I said, the Steam Deck in certain circumstances will run better than the Ally X in certain games because of optimization. So if you want something that feels like a console, easy to use, and you're mainly in the Steam ecosystem, the Steam Deck is an awesome choice, because if your games are all on Steam or you want to emulate, then it's all there. But if you want raw power and the flexibility to play literally anything, then the ROG Ally X is better fit. Just be ready to do a little bit of tinkering along the way. Like I said, I think that goes to say with the Steam Deck, if you then want to open up the game library like the Xbox part and the emulation and stuff like that and the tinkering, then it's difficult between the two, because they can both do that. People just gravitate towards the Steam Deck because it has been well optimized. Valve have done a great job. At the end of the day, it's not about which one is better, it's about which one fits your gaming style. So, the Steam Deck or the Ally X, which one would you choose for your setup? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more handheld breakdown. And also, PC builds, Mac OS reviews, but we're going to be looking at a lot more of these two handhelds over the next few weeks. If you want to know anything about any of these consoles, or you want me to home in a lot more on one specific console of anything in particular, then let me know in the comments below and we can make that happen. But guys, thank you so much for watching this video. As I said, what one are you going to pick? Or maybe there is another one there, another handheld there that you also are considering. These were the two main ones that I was choosing between. The Legion Go, etc. There was too many issues. The Asus Ali, the first one, there was just too many issues. These were the two that stood out for me. So these are the two that I own, and these are the two that I can give my opinion on. But guys, let me know down below, is there any others that you are considering, or have you made your decision? Guys, thank you so much, and I'll catch everyone in the next one.